how to give your recruiters and users different privileges in Tracker RMS. First, head up to your name in the top right corner and then hit Tools and Settings. Please note, this help file is probably for an admin team, as a lot of people won't have access to most of these tools. First thing you'll want to do, admin, is figure out which user group your recruiter or user is in. Head down to the Buy More User Licenses, where you can kind of get a nice view of all your users. From here, you'll see all of the user licenses you have and who they're assigned to. So here's all the users on my team. Here's the people who have licenses, the people who are locked out, and what user group they're in. That's going to be the important part. So in this case, maybe I want to work on Annie. She is in Prospect Demo, no back office. So obviously, you guys, we use this for a sales tool, but you'll see the user group here. Yours might be called recruiter group or admin group or HR team or whatever they might be. So Prospect Demo, no back office. I'm going to go ahead, now that I know which user group she's in, I'll also probably want to take a look at whoever else is in that group. So David is also in that group. Emily is locked out, so she doesn't count. Heather's also in that group. So you see there's lots of people. So if I want to make the change to everyone in that group, that'll be easy. If I just want to give the change or new privilege to Annie, I'll show you how to do that as well. So I'm going to go ahead and use the Back to Tools button to go back to the tools now that I know who's in that group. And now I'm going to go down to the user setup in the bottom left corner and head into user groups. Okay, from here I'm going to select the user group I'd like to edit. So it was right here. And then here is where you can see all the different access to the tools. So first, this is just the tools section, which means if they hit on their name and hit tools and settings, what do they see? Probably want to remove any settings that you don't want them to have. Maybe give them access to settings they do want to have, like the template builder. All right, so scrolling on through, okay, here's some privileges. Maybe you want to give them access to delete records. That's a common one. Maybe you want to give them access to view all hot lists or something like that, etc. So in this case, maybe we want them to not have access to private records, and we only want Annie to be able to delete records. So we don't want to give everyone in this user group option. So we just changed everything for the user group. I'm going to go ahead and hit save. Now I want to go ahead and give Annie the same access to everyone else, but also give her one thing different. What I'm going to do is hit the little plus button to create a brand new user group. I'm going to say Annie's access, or whatever you want to call it. Or maybe you want to call it the same thing and say, plus whatever access they're getting. And layout, you'll want to go ahead and choose the same layout. Looks like they're using this particular layout right here. So I'm going to want to, I'm just going to go ahead and use clone user group and clone that one. So what I just did is I created a brand new user group for Annie, and it has the exact same things checked off here as it did before. So I'm going to go ahead and give her access to delete records and any other changes that I want to give her access to, and hit save. So now we have a brand new user group called Annie's Access, where we made one slight change to that user group. Now the last thing I want to do is put Annie in that new user group. So I'm going to go ahead and choose the Back to Tools in the top right corner again. Head into our users right here. So this time I'm going to want to pick up an individual user. So get started. I'm going to go into Annie, who looks like she's in the Prospect Demo no back office. And I'm going to go ahead and switch her user group over now that we've changed it to the new one we just created. Scroll up and hit save. And now we've given our first user group slightly different privileges, and we also cloned it to give Annie a slightly different privilege.